Here we go. Welcome everyone. Today we are very pleased to be joined by Dr. Maximilian Bock, CEO and co-CTO of OneAI. And Dr. Bock has built an impressive career spanning research, finance, and entrepreneurship. And his work today is pioneering the use of AI to create sustainable, personalized fashion with a background that includes a PhD in nanophysics from the University of Cambridge and MBA and leadership roles across global organization. He brings a unique perspective on how technologies, business, and sustainability intersect. So we are delighted to have him here to share his insight as a thought leader at DSC Next. So Dr. Bock, if I've missed something in this introduction that you feel the audience should know, please feel free to share it with us.
Thank you. No, I think that was quite an elaborate introduction. Thank you so much for that.
Okay, let's go with the first question of mine, which is your career has taken you from nanophysics research to finance and now to AI and entrepreneurship. So, could you please let us know what inspired this journey?
Absolutely. From a very early young age, I always was interested on or in how things work, how they sort of tie together like a systems kind of approach. And so when I started university, I actually started my degree in physics and philosophy as a baseline in both sort of universes, natural sciences and social sciences, and evolved that journey continuously. I also ended up for a period of time working in the financial industry as well as for the UN in various different projects, always trying to get a closer handle of what it means to be alive right now, what it means to have sort of all these systems, financial, business, impact, research tying into each other. And for me, it's very exciting when about almost 3 years ago, I had the opportunity of joining a tremendously pioneering AI startup in the physical arena. So as a physicist, it brought together a lot of my ambitions in terms of, and as an entrepreneur, of riding the wave of setting up a physical AI. Then this specific case takes on the challenge of making real clothes that people can wear that is perfectly tuned to them and is based on this unique learning loop experience.
That's fascinating. My next question would be One AI is pioneering in creating physical fashion products using AI. So, what was the vision behind starting this company?
So it really goes back to this fundamental understanding of what is an AI. It's unlike algorithms. It's not just code. It's a way to get feedback and change its code essentially and evolve in that way. It's almost becomes very close to something we have seen in nature, and if you tie it to not just in a digital arena that we see a lot of the AI, we see it in terms of generating text, images, etc. But if we let it loose on the physical space where it could make goods that people own, use, wear in our case, and learn from that feedback, it could change completely not only what it means to have to own and wear clothes, but it could also change fundamentally of what it means to be a product. So the product fundamentally now becomes a register of data and a means to go forward. So that was at the bare backbone of this company as a vision, to make this technology that is available today useful in a business context, in this case specifically for clothing, and show how AI can transform an entire universe of things into living objects. You know, suddenly your t-shirt is part of an evolutionary process that shapes to form not only your good looks and sort of attitude, but also culture and norms and other things. And it sort of becomes this huge dynamicism that we can now start to act on.
That's interesting, and also that's a powerful vision. So, having managed a venture capital like venture portfolio that grew into 110 million euro and launched multiple startups, what do you think? Are the key sorry, what do you think are the key ingredients for building successful impact-driven companies?
So I can only speak from the experience as a founder and a leader of ventures and sort of a person who has had a portfolio on that side. So it's a very much a startup perspective on it. And here, as a startup, you're always trying to create a step change from what there is today to what you see possible tomorrow. And that step change, I have again and again seen it needs certainty and it needs a directedness. You know, like you get your key team members, you excite the people around you to take a journey to a place that they don't quite understand yet. And the minute that new place becomes real, you know, like the iPhone has become real, the Tesla car, Amazon, and all these things, it's weird because then it becomes normal. And then, you know, the appreciation of that step change that was necessary is broken down into business acumen and all these other tricks. But I think at the forefront of setting up a successful new venture is this willingness and clarity to go in a direction where no one has been before and bring all the ones together.
Great points. So, as a thought leader at DSC Next, what excites you most about being a part of this community?
So I see this community as a great experience to exchange, talk to each other, learn from each other, and build like a collective understanding of what data science is not only is, but could be tomorrow. The next thing I see such a community as also spearheads and people who can serve as thought leaders for the outside world to find out what is possible today and tomorrow, and therefore engage in a constructive communication where we find out mutually beneficial solutions. So it's not just we're doing science for the sake of science. It's not like we're doing business for the sake of business. We can bring those worlds together and work on something that is actually in the interest of humanity. And I think that's what makes that exciting and a cool community to be part of.
Thank you for answering my question. So, my last question is to you. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who wants to use AI for meaningful impact?
Well, I will give two sort of one advice and one reality, and I'll start with the reality. If you end up getting speeding tickets or parking tickets and other things, you're doing a good job, because that means your entire focus and energy is going to the thing that you love to build and not in terms of maintaining a normal life that is kind of hard to do when you're trying to pull off this. Now to the advice, I believe the most important thing is to be honest to oneself, and especially for a startup, that breaks down for me into like three things. Having a real goal, a real understanding of what you're trying to achieve, and a real ability to describe the potential behind it. And a lot of the times, the idea that we have in our minds seems perfectly clear in our heads, but the minute we write it down, we realize that it has all these holes and gaps and other things. And so being honest to yourself and saying to yourself, what do I really want to achieve? Do I want to be rich? Do I want to be famous? Do I want to be a leader in technology? What do I actually want to do? And just mark that, that's fine. And then ask yourself, is this idea really leading me to that thing? Or what other ideas are there that could lead to what I really want to have? Because intrinsic motivation is at the core of it. Then once you've decided on a path, ask yourself, do you really know what you're doing? Are you an expert in your field, or are you new to your field? I always benefited from having like 1,000 hours worth of conversations with people from the field on a daily basis and gather that. And finally, the question is, what's the real potential? Like, can you put a price tag next to it? How much resources have to go in? How much would come out? What's the profit level you will achieve? That kind of business side of it that I see always divides in the founders. Some founders love the business and some founders love the tech, and typically they're not the same person. And I think it's a very important step for both sides to know both potentials.
That's a very inspiring advice and your thoughts. Thank you so much for answering my all questions and sharing your journey and perspective with us today. So,
Pleasure.
yeah, your work at the intersection of AI and sustainability is truly inspiring, and it highlights the kind of forward-thinking leadership that makes like DSC Next such a unique space for learning and exchanging the thoughts. So we are grateful for you to take your time and contribute for this, and we look forward to hearing from you in our upcoming webinars. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and yeah, see you soon.